Sheriff's Office. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm Roger O'Donnell.
Hey, Zach Finnegan, nice to meet you.
What's your first name?
Zach.
Zach. Hi,
Yeah.
this is Sheila.
Hello.
Hi, Zach.
Come in, Zach.
What
Have
do
a
you-
seat.
What do you got going on?
Well, here's the, can I give you the backstory a little?
Yeah.
Come sit if you like.
Oh, I'll stand. I'm good. Thank you.
Are you sure you don't want to sit?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll stand.
I'm the president of the board of directors. Yeah, that's my burden to carry.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, I know, a lousy job. I'm an attorney by background.
Okay.
And so the premise of all of this, I think, starts with we have a dispute in the community about a board fining a resident for a rule violation and wanting to take disciplinary action and so forth like that. So we had a dispute within the board about whether that was appropriate or not appropriate. And it's been sort of a thorn in our side on the board for a while because the treasurer, John Hanify, was one of the people who kind of instigated that in a prior administration. And so it just was one of those things, you know, where people had different feelings about it and everything. So, so I've been trial lawyer my whole life. And so I looked at this case and looked at the whole situation and said, we got to get a legal opinion on this because we just got to make sure we're doing the right thing here. So we got a legal opinion from our counsel and it went against John. They said, no, you need to drop this, okay? He was incensed. He was furious about it. I cannot explain to you why this thing sticks in his craw so much, but it does.
Okay.
And so as a result of that, about a month ago, once that came down, he quit the board.
Okay.
He was the treasurer. He quit.
Okay.
Okay, he quit. And so, and yesterday, so he's not involved at all. And so yesterday in the morning, I wake up and I've got an email that says, right here, it says, for your own well-being and the good of the community, I urge you to resign immediately.
And this is from John.
John.
Okay.
Who's angry about that case.
Which has nothing really to do with him.
Nothing to do with
Right.
him. He's off the
He's
board.
somebody else that was fined in general.
Right.
Okay.
Another party who lives over there.
Okay.
A woman. And so this has been a bugaboo for him and another person who was on the board. It just is, I still, Sheila and I cannot understand why this is so important to them. But anyway, it went against John. He quit. And so this comes in yesterday morning. Now, I roll with the punches. You know, I understand when you're the board president, you got to take flack. You got to put up with disagreement. People are going to not be upset with you. They're going to disagree with you. It's part of the job, you know. But this scared me.
Okay.
Because this is escalating behavior. He's just gone off the reservation with this issue. He should not be involved in the current board. He quit. He should not be saying, for my well-being, I need to resign. It's none of his business.
Okay.
Whether I resign or don't resign.
Correct.
And what makes it even more weird is that we elect a new board in 5 weeks.
Okay.
Me and the other people on the board, we're all gone in 5 weeks. And people, there are already ballots out there for people who want to run. So, and we're in the middle of budget time, in the middle of negotiating a new landscape contract. And he knows all about these issues because they were percolating when he was on the board. So he should have he should have no worries about me resigning or putting in a new president, staging some kind of coup or something. We got 5 weeks left.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get back on the board, run. You know, you want other people to get on the board, run. But let us do our work. But don't threaten me with your well-being.
Can I read that word for word if you don't mind?
It's part of the thread. There'll be some
It's part of a thread, but
So this is like he sent this with other people in the email as well?
No, he's actually, this is very weird. He's not supposed to be able to write to me on the board thread, and somehow,
Without it's going to the other board members.
without it's going to the other board members. So I think, he knows the guy who's the tech specialist in here who used to be on the board. I think they kind of broke into this thing, and so John wrote directly to me. He would have had to contact me by email or written to the whole board. And he-
Personal email.
Yeah, personal email. He didn't do that. He wrote to me that's another thing. It's like, wow, you're going out of your way to just deal directly with me. And this goes back to this whole feud with this other violation thing.
That's his name, John Hanify?
John Hanify. Yeah.
Okay. You know his address?
Yeah, I can tell you, he lives right across the street.
Oh boy, that's something you guys gotta
corner.
deal with, huh?
He lives
Right across the street?
I can tell you in a second. Yeah, kitty corner.
Okay.
You know how you came right to come in here? You go
You
left,
took a
those two
left.
houses.
Okay.
These two houses, it's 4705.
4705.
Is that what it is, Rod?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so the whole point is that, and we were talking about this, it was unnerving to me, because I don't want to overreact to it. I don't want to underreact to it. But there's no place for it, because if he's grounded and rational about this whole thing, he shouldn't be doing this, because he's not involved. There's no reason for it. There's a whole new board coming in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And why is he saying for my well-being, you know? Now, this is a guy, he's so mad at me over this case because I took it to a lawyer, got an answer, he didn't like the answer. John Hanify wouldn't throw a bucket of water on me if I were on fire. He's so mad at me. So he's not concerned about my mental health at all, okay? So if he tries to diffuse this and say, oh, I was just worried about him and this and that, it's nonsense. I have no personal agenda with him. I don't really know John. I don't socialize.
So the only way you know him is through
Through the
HOA
board.
means.
Through the board.
Okay.
And to tell you that historically, he's done a lot of good work in this community. He's an engineer by background.
Okay.
He is a little bit emotional, can be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for, Sheila? A little volatile
A little volatile,
Yeah.
not in actions, but certainly in speech.
in temperament and so forth, you know, other people tell me. So that adds to this, what I'm saying, God, why is this is so unnecessary and so kind of irrational. Is he really flipped on this whole thing? Is he off his rocker here a little bit? Where why are you so angry about this? And why would you write that to me? You know, and for my well-being.
We would like not to feel unsettled.
Yeah,
about
so
someone
I
who's
actually
across the
feel,
street.
I mean, like I told you, I can take a lot. It's
Yeah.
okay, you know, I get it, you know. You sign up for this job and actually they asked me to do it, to volunteer for it, because people got off the board and they were desperate for help, and because of my legal background, and I've been a president of a board before, so myself and another person stepped into the breach to have a board. You gotta have a board or you end up in receivership. And so, anyway, this thing with this violation thing has been a problem for him since we started working with him.
You think it's good? Does he know the person who was getting fined or was like the primary person in this whole thing? Is that like why is he offended that they were? I mean, what do you think his whole reason is to be so?
It's a good question. And the answer is they're so angry at that woman because John and another guy they were both board members and on the architectural control committee together. Okay. And in there, so they're switching hats a little bit, but in their capacity as architectural control guys, board guys, along with a couple other people, they had to deal with this woman because she bought a house and then was going to remodel it.
Okay.
And so there are all those, you have to file applications to do things, you know, and that sort of stuff. So they were very frustrated with her because she was taking forever.
Yeah, there was a long delay in terms of getting the house finished. And then at the end of that, when landscaping was put in place, there were some rules that were basically flouted, they think, the committee thought. Putting plants in easement areas, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
You know, it's all the minutia of gated communities.
Yeah, understood.
But they really did have their hair across their butts about it. I think it's fair to say.
They were so angry at this woman.
Really almost personally offended.
So are they like offended that she didn't get a worse consequence than what she got?
No, they were offended because she did something that she was not supposed to do in terms of where she planted. Okay, I know it sounds trivial and everything, but they were, one of the guys, see, this gets so nutty, but
I'm just trying to understand why this concerns this guy so much, right?
We don't know.
Like,
they're so angry at this woman that, and I have to be careful breaching confidentiality with the lawyer in terms of some of the things they did, but they were so pissed off at this woman that they made a point to, and we've never had rule enforcement done in here before. They made a point to go after her, and then one of the guys who orchestrated going after her, you're gonna love this, he quit the board like the next day. In other words, he's going out the door and he wants his one shot at this lady to issue a violation letter against her. Now, because of other things that have happened in here historically, it raised a legal issue about whether they were engaging in select enforcement. Select enforcement is the mortal sin of rule enforcement in HOAs. You win every case when you go into court. If you're an HOA and you're trying hard and you're using business judgment rule and you're being fair, and you win every case. But when you start to go have personal animus towards people and you pick people out and you treat them differently than other people because you're pissed off at them, you get in big trouble. You lose those cases, and you end up losing the case, paying the other person's attorney's fees. It's a disaster. That's what they were messing with this lady. And so that's why, because of my background, I looked at this and I said, wow, it's like poker. I said, we got a crappy hand here.
Yeah.
Are we holding a losing hand here? I said, the next step, you take the next step and find this woman. This is a lady who's got long time standing in this community. She's a sexton. And so she's got the resources and the contacts and lawyers and everything to fight this. And I said, okay, before we get into a brawl with her, let's get a legal opinion and make sure we have standing to do what we're doing. Because it's the old story in trial court. Don't ask a 500-pound gorilla to dance unless you want to stay on the floor for a long time. If you start a lawsuit, you're in a lawsuit. And so that's when the lawyer wrote back and said, no, you cannot fine her, dismiss the case. John went ballistic.
We don't know why.
And we don't know why, except that he and this other fellow really don't like this lady. They're so mad at this woman. I think they feel that they were personally insulted somehow by what she did, where she planted. And I know it sounds so silly and petty, doesn't it?
I did construction for 10 years around here, and the amount of stuff that has to get approved and before you can even start the process and build in an HOA is insane to me.
Yeah.
God bless you guys for stepping up to be the president and stuff, because I don't know that I could deal with that. But
well,
I don't blame you.
Here's one of the things that, I think really ticked him off, is because Audrey Sexton is her name, Audrey, was so difficult to deal with. She appeared in front of this board a couple times. She was unprepared. One time they kind of got into it back and forth, and she's got a toot and they've got a toot. You know, we watched the videos of this. They have videos of these meetings and listen to it. So she came back this year in March for a second round of a meeting on landscaping. And between the February meeting and the March meeting, one of the guys on the ARC, who's also on the board, and he was the guy who spearheaded the violation, his name is Keith. Okay, he drew up her plan because she was not doing things right. He went and drew up the whole landscaping plan for her and basically did her homework and said, here, turn this in, it'll be approved, and we're good to go.
Be done with.
Right? Well, she turned it in, it got approved, and then she planted in a couple of places she wasn't supposed to. And they instantly went berserko. In June, so they start this violation process on the 4th of June.
Of this year.
This year. They start, the guy who started it quit the next day from the board, resigned from the board. So why are you doing this if you're quitting the board?
Yeah.
So looks like you've got a personal reason for it, right? And then the day after that, on the 7th of June, that's when we were appointed to the board because they were missing board members. And that's when they asked me to be the president. So ever since then, we inherited that problem. And finally, before they were inching closer and closer, wanting to fine her and do this, and I said, oh man. I didn't want John to quit because he does a lot of good work and we need him as the treasurer, and we're involved in redoing our reserves. We're involved in the budget process. He's a valuable team member. So we were trying to placate him, and he was kind of holding us hostage. It was more like blackmail. I'm going to quit if you don't do this. I'm going to quit if you don't do this with her. And so finally it got to the point I said, okay, time's up. We got to get something to stand on here. We just can't keep disagreeing. We have to. So that's when I got the legal opinion. That was a month ago. He summarily quit. He didn't like the fact that I dealt directly with the lawyer, which I had to do for legal purposes. And so he quit. And he was very uncooperative in terms of turning information over to us. And so that's kind of off the rails a little bit. And then this. And so
essentially it's been a little bit of bad blood, edginess, but that text is a little unnerving.
Okay.
You know?
yeah, it's unnerving because, and like I said, he can't explain this away that he's worried about my feelings or my well-being or anything. The reason that I wrote to him at one point and said it was unpleasant being the board president, and the reason it was unpleasant is because of you. I didn't say that, but that was the unpleasantness for all of us.
Yeah.
Is that position he was taking was creating, it was like a thorn in our side. And so anyway, I wake up to this yesterday morning, and words matter. You know, the way you write things matters, you know.
Yep.
And so it concerned me.
Okay.
It concerned me.
Did you respond to that?
I did. I wrote back and I said, this sounds rather ominous.
Did he respond back to that?
He responded back to that and said,
It's on there.
yeah, he responded back there saying, well, I'm just concerned about your mental health.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've heard in your experience, right? You've heard everything in the book. Yeah. You've probably got every excuse more than I've heard, right? Since I've been here.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking for me to go talk to him? Do you
Yes.
just want me to document this? Like what? How do you want me to?
If you don't mind, because I don't know mentally where he is with this whole thing.
Yep.
He's so above and beyond with his reaction.
It's over what one would expect it to.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is not.
And he's not a fool. He's well educated.
So essentially, he's already said he's gave you his response, probably the same thing he's going to give me, right?
Yeah, he's going to tell you
the same thing that he emailed you
He's
back.
concerned about my mental health. Well, he wouldn't, like I said, he wouldn't throw a bucket of water on me if I were in fire.
Yeah.
He's not worried about my mental health. I think what happened is when I responded to him, he probably said, oh shit.
Yeah, something's coming.
No, I words matter.
Yeah.
And that's a threat. I like you to talk to him only because I'd like him to know you got to stop this.
Yeah.
In other words, you can't do this.
I mean, I'll go talk to him. I'm gonna I'll ask him his side of the story on what he meant by this well-being thing, right?
Yeah.
I presume he's gonna tell me the same thing that he's already told you.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Do you want me to document in a report as well?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have your driver's license? If not, I can just write your name and.
No, I'll get your driver's.
That's fine. You don't have to. I'll just
Okay.
take your first name.
Roger, R-O-G-E-R.
Roger. Middle initial.
J.
Last name.
O'Donnell, it's capital O, apostrophe capital D, O-N-N-E-L-L, and I'm a third.
Okay. Date of birth.
11/28/1952.
Good phone number for you.
207-360-9410.
That's your primary residence.
This is my primary residence.
Do you guys have a phone number for Mr. Hanify?
Oh, God, it should be down here.
If not, I can see if he's willing to give it to me when I go over
I
there.
think it's, oh yes, I do have a phone. It's 772-538-9235.
9235. All right. And do you mind if I see those messages just one more time?
Sure.
Yeah, bring up the whole thing.
Yeah, here, could you bring that up for me? It gets in a thread, it's a pain in the way they have this set up on Google, it's a pain in the neck. You gotta go through the thread to find it, it's crazy.
So that's essentially the most concerning thing he said right now is you should look out for your own well-being.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. You can pull up each one of those background.
Okay.
Or do you want me to show you?
I think I seen this one right here. This was the first response.
Not the 14-year-olds who were not great emails.
Okay. And is that
Here's the first. Here's Roger's response.
Yeah, I got that one right here
okay,
as well.
and then here's John's last.
okay? So that's the last time you guys, and this was October 20th. Today's the 21st.
Yesterday,
Okay,
and I didn't respond again.
I see that.
I'm
All right.
I'm not gonna respond to him.
Okay.
All right, let me. I'm gonna go around to my truck real quick. I'll get you a card with a case number on it. That'll be tied to the case report,
Okay.
and then I'll go see if I can make contact with him, and then it'll all be documented in a report.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other questions you think?
No,
I have one. Your last name is Finnegan?
It is.
That's neat.
my grandson is Finnegan. First name is Finnegan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just
And he lives in Ireland.
There you go. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So here's the case number. That'll be for the case report.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna head over there and see what he has to say.
I doubt you'll find him. I think they play pickleball until noon or 1, but
Okay.
I
Well,
don't-
if I don't see him today, I'll swing back this
they're
afternoon
not
and
going anywhere.
see what he says.
He's around. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
Sorry to bug you. I
No,
know
you're
it
good.
sounds silly, you know, but it's when somebody who's normally should be kind of a grounded person is so over the top on something, and these things are coming out of nowhere. It's like, what do you mean? You know,
Understood.
where are you in your head?
And I'm assuming from before this point, you guys have been cordial, nothing crazy.
Well, we haven't. He's been very upset with me since I came on the board because about that case over there with Mrs. Sexton
Yeah.
and how I disagreed with it. He's been very angry with me.
But
about
never
that.
made any comments like he has.
No, he didn't. He never. And now he quit. You'd think he'd be out of it and doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, why are you doing this 5 weeks before a new election? Why are you still?
Now, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Is that email thread thing, is that something that every person in here can respond to or only?
Only me and him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the way he wrote it.
I
He
got
did not send it. He was not supposed to be able to write to me individually on that site. That's for board member conversations.
So that's separate from Gmail?
It's a different account.
It's in a Gmail account,
It's
but
a
it
different
is
account.
board-oriented.
Board
Understood.
oriented. In other
Nobody else
words,
in here reads that email except for the members of the board.
yeah.
Understood.
And so if he was going to write, he could write to the board. Everybody can write to the board on the other Gmail site,
Yep.
but they can't write to individual board members. And he
Understood.
did that.
Okay.
So he's taken steps to kind of breach this, and that's because his buddy
Yeah.
is the tech guy.
I'm not familiar with the thread thing. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with Gmail. Obviously, you have the type of email where they send to all, and then you can either reply
Yeah.
to all or reply individually, all that stuff. But I've never had to deal with the thread, so I'll do some research into that and see if there's anything that he's kind of
Yeah.
overriding or whatever on that.
Well,
But-
because, and so you know, his cohort on the ARC, on the board, who did the thing with Sexton, is a real tech savvy guy.
okay.
So he and they're buddies.
Yeah.
They're tied at the hip with this whole thing with Mrs. Sexton. And so Keith is very smart, and he has,
Oh, yeah, he's brilliant.
he could do anything, you know.
He
Okay.
could probably hack anybody in the
Yeah, and so he's one of those guys. And so John should never have been writing to me individually on that site. That's not right. Because the other board members didn't get it.
Okay.
They were unaware of it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. If you get anything else that you could think of, you could either just call back and reference that case number, or you could just shoot me an email. My email's right there under my name.
Will do.
Shoot it right here. Zachary.finnegan@irc.sheriff.org.
Are you comfortable that this narrative is clear? Because it is kind of,
And I know it's
No, I understand. I mean,
borderline silly. I get it. You
it
know?
is. I mean,
But it's escalating,
yeah.
and it's not good.
Do you think this is going to make it worse?
No,
Me going to talk to him?
no. I think it's going to make it. I think it's going to be.
they're going to be chills.
I think the bucket of cold water on the whole thing that needs to
Okay.
be thrown on it.
All right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to escalate it. I want to de-escalate it. I want him to stop it,
Yeah.
Don't stop this nonsense, okay?
Personally,
I'm-
you should be in no danger from him. We're not concerned about, worried that he's inflammatory enough that he would ever.
No.
Oh, I'm not worried about
Okay.
me. I'm worried about if he's going to retaliate to you guys about anything.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I mean, in totality, right?
Yeah,
I mean, little young old me is going to go up there and be, hey, listen, you guys are, I know HOAs are a big ordeal, right? But if he wants to be said person with power in the HOA, I'm going to tell him he should,
Get on the board.
He should, exactly, he should run to be a board member.
Go
Yeah.
If he doesn't like it, I mean, it's the same thing in the United States right now.
Yeah.
Some people have their own views. Some people have their other views.
Yep.
You can't get there unless you run. I mean,
But
at the end of the day.
you don't write to somebody and say, for your
No,
well-being,
absolutely.
you should resign,
yeah, that's a little.
And I just think that's so over the top, and you don't know what he's thinking.
Absolutely.
And I thought about this long and hard, because I don't want to escalate things. I just want to finish my 5 weeks and get the hell off the board.
I'm sure.
That's all I
I'm
want to
sure.
do,
Yes.
But in the meantime, we were very,
Oh,
we're not, Sheila's an emergency room physician, She's sees a lot. I'm a trial lawyer. We've done a lot of crap, and so we're not easily thrown by things, but this bothered us.
Well, I think you should get. I'm not my own opinion. You guys should enjoy your life outside the HOA.
We fully
You know,
intend.
the problem is, where do you go?
I get it.
You know,
Back to me.
where do you live?
I live in. But I mean, HOAs are good, but this is the stuff you guys got to deal with,
Yeah.
and especially, I mean, you guys took on you said the burden to be president and all that stuff, to help your community, but at the same time, no matter how much you do, I mean, it's essentially the same thing with us. I have nothing but the best interest for any victim said person I talk to in the public, and at the same time, I still go out there and it's.
You don't expect, I was saying, when you take on that job as like the board president, you don't expect thanks.
Yeah.
Don't get into this to have everybody pat you on the back and tell you how wonderful you are. You only, and the lawyers and everybody I've ever dealt with in this say the same thing. It's a universal thing in every HOA. They call it the 90-10 rule. You know it. 90% of the people are absolutely fine. It seems like every community has a certain small percentage. They're very loud. And what is the property manager calls them, keyboard warriors. and so those are the people who are complaining the loudest. You expect that. When you step into this job, you know that's going to happen. Yeah. And so you roll with the punches, just roll with the punches. But he should not be upset about the board right now. He quit the board. And so what's this all about? Where is his head in this whole thing? That's my concern.
We'll see what he has to say.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Like I said, if you guys think of anything else that you need, you could either just call or shoot me an email.
Thanks.
All right. Absolutely.
Okay,
Thanks.
Have a better day. Okay. Thank you.